How's it going, guys? What's good? What's good, everyone? This is Jess from Newmotive, Solomon from Newmotive as well, and today we're going to bring you our webinar on why now, the why now factor,
the big why.
Right, guys, so today we're going to be covering a few topics, not that much, but we want to get you guys sort of understanding file formats, the investment, the leap of faith, and also why we do Newmotive and the important key, not roles, but the important reasons on why we actually created our world of creativity and what our goals and our achievements are later on. So, without further ado, let's start. I'm going to lead in the first 2 points, so that's file formatting and the investment, and then Sol's going to take us through the leap of faith and obviously why we do Newmotive as well from a personal perspective, because we want to personally get in touch with you guys. But yeah, cool, let's start. So now when it comes to file formatting, on the screen here you'll see there's quite a few. So these are basically the basic ones that we actually use when it comes to design. They're more generic, it's a bit more easier for printers and obviously those that are doing presentations and cloth cutting, wherever it is, to actually transfer your design onto the next spot. So for example, if you're printing flyers or business cards, it's always good to have the Illustrator file or maybe an EPS file, which is very generic. PDF files are quite common right now at the moment because they do hold the quality of the logo, but it all depends on your printer or the person that's actually designing your work. But anyway, let's get into it. So JPEG, right, this one is very old. It's been used for almost, I think, what, 30-40 years now. From photography it started, from the old actual flash cameras, the ones used to wind. But anyway,
old school.
The term JPEG is an acronym for Joint Photographic Experts Group, which was the, sorry, let me start again. It is a term for Joint Photographic Experts Group. And basically they're the people that created the standard. So they created the standard itself and acronymed it by saying JPEG. It's commonly used as a method of lossy compression for digital images, particularly for those images produced by digital photography. The degree of the compression can be adjusted, allowing a selectable trade-off between storage and size and image quality. So basically, it's more commonly used in photos right now. You probably see it on your phone when you're taking those little snapshots on your holiday, and it's just easy and transferable as well. If you look at the image, we're going to have a difference, we're going to have a comparison, between the JPEG and a flat raw image. So it will show you how the quality changes and also the different types of styles. I think there's a hill on there you should be able to see. So yeah, give you a few seconds to look at that and then I'll go on to the next one. PNG. Now, like a GIF, a PNG is a file compressed lossless fashion. So meaning all image information is restored when the file is decompressed during viewing. It's also an acronym for Portable Network Graphics, which is a bitmap image format that uses lossless data and compression. So as I'm reading from the slide, I'm going to show you guys examples as well. But basically what it is with a PNG, if you directly just want the logo or just the wording or a particular part of your image without no backgrounds, no colors, no nothing like that, literally this is the best file to use. So for example, those that do animation, if you have character designs of characters you've done in Photoshop or turnarounds or animations in Flash, PNG is the best way to pull it into things like After Effects, Adobe Premiere and so on and so forth. Here's an image up here as well, like I said. Now let's go into CMYK and RGB. Now these two, you probably may have been familiar with them quite before when it comes to just general printing. CMYK is a color model, which basically is a process of 4 colors. You've got cyan, magenta, yellow, and although it's K, it stands for black, basically meaning key. So the key is black. Black is a neutral, I would say shade. Really, yeah, it's not actually well, it's a color, but it's more of a shade in a sense. That will neutralize all the other 3 in order for you to print out any color you want in the color spectrum. And basically these are used in every printer that we use today, LaserJet, what's the other one? Inkjet as well. Industrial printers,
HP, all those companies.
HP, yeah, all those companies, so on and so forth. Now, the RGB color model is an additive color model in which red, green and blue lights are added together in various ways to reproduce a broad array of colors. The name of the model comes from the initials of the three additive primary colors, red, green and blue. So basically what it is with RGB is that if you're doing stuff like, how can I put it? If you're doing like images on Photoshop, for example, like art collages, or you've got like a basic photo you took of, I don't know, your birthday, and in Photoshop you want to edit sort of the contrast, you want to make, you know, the tones and the blues and the reds a bit more different. This is the good setting to use as well, RGB, because like it says here, it's an additive color model. So the red, green and blue helps it to manipulate any types of form of, how can I put it, colors in certain areas. So for example, you take a photo inside the sun and it's very, very, very bright at one side. You put it in Photoshop with the RGB panels, you can play around with it, so it won't look too bright inside the actual photo itself, if you understand what I mean. So bear with me, I know it can be a bit too much or a bit too confusing, but you know, we're giving you this information because we want you guys to be flexible. When you go to your printers with your design and they're talking all this funny language, you'll be able to understand it. But yeah, so
by the way, if you've got any questions, please jot them down in the comment section box.
Yeah,
just we're here to help.
Most definitely. Drop it down in the comment section. We will do live videos as well on Instagram, where we can obviously answer your questions and queries as well. But yeah, drop any comments inside the box itself, and yeah, we'll get back to you. Let's move on to PSD AI, which stands for Adobe Illustrator, and PDF file formats. Now, the three of these, they all come from the same family, which is the Adobe suite. And basically, I'm just going to break it down to you. There's a bit of text here, but I'm going to quickly read through it. So, PSD files stands for a Photoshop document. It's a default format for Photoshop users to save in data in Photoshop. So if you're saving any data in Photoshop on a basic file, it's a PSD file you use. And it's a proprietary file that allows you and the users to work with the images, so individual layers, even after the file has been saved as. So for example, we do a lot of concept work in Photoshop before we do our logos in Illustrator. So we would go into Photoshop, design a concept, import into Adobe Illustrator, and the beauty of that is all the layers come up as one. I can edit each layer as well, so if I've done certain things in Photoshop where I want it to look a specific way in Illustrator, I can select that once it goes into Illustrator. It's fine, it's easy, it's very transferable. That's why we really like to use the Adobe suite. Shout out to Adobe, you create some really good software, and it helps us get some really, really good creativity done. With the Illustrator file, it's a branded file format, so obviously developed by, you know, Adobe Systems again. And obviously it stands for Illustrator file. It's basically, it's good for demonstrating single page vector drawings, and so even EPS or PDF file formats, like I explained before. So all our logo design is done in Illustrator for vector format, because that's the best quality. Some people do use InDesign. I'm a bit of an old school person, so I use InDesign at times. I do use Illustrator at times as well, but I prefer to use Illustrator because like I said, vector-based stuff is really easy, it's really cool to work with, it's very fun and fluent. And if you're going to the printers, they tend to work from the Adobe AI files quite a lot more because it's easier for them to edit certain stuff. So if they're cutting into a logo, or if they're doing any embroidery on a t-shirt, it's just simple from there. That also has a layer format as well, similar to the PSD file. PDF file documents. Now this is what I was saying to you guys before when it comes to printing. This is what I like to call the university file format, because literally every single thing we had to submit in terms of text had to be in a PDF file format. So think about when you download your training program online from your personal trainer, or if you're downloading a document or an agreement. So those who've got car insurance, a PDF file format is the most easiest way to put those sort of things into a readable format, because what it does, it composes all the quality, all the information in simple pages. You open it up, you're able to click and select which you want. When it comes to business cards as well, a lot of people do tend to use the actual PDF file format. Reason being, because sometimes, depending on the screen settings or the actual softwares or systems they're using to print your business cards, it may need some enlarging at times, may need some shrinking, or it may need some tweaks and small edits. It's easy to do it in a PDF file. Again, you can use EPS file formats, which is quite similar to PDF files. It does make it very, very transparent at the same time, but basically, yeah, it's just easier and transferable. So that's why PDF file formats are used. And basically, that's about it, I think, for file formats. Yes. So yeah, like we said, any questions, give us a shout, drop it in the YouTube comments below. Myself and Sol will get back to you. Appropriate questions, please, guys, and difficult ones as well. But yeah, this is just file format. Now, it can be boring, like I said before, but it's very good to know. Now, like I said, we're going to swiftly move on into the investment process, and we're going to explain to you guys really why it's important to invest in your brand, invested in your business itself. We're not going to go into finance, but we're going to talk about the pricing of branding. So, as you're probably going to see here on the screen, there's a nice cool image of what investment would look like. Now, it's not hard. I always tell people, make it simple for yourself. 2 questions. Why now? And how much? So how much can you put in? How much are you willing to put in? Why now? 2 questions you have to ask yourself. But we're going to answer them for you. That's why we're here. You know? Makes sense. Anyway, why not? More times you don't invest in yourself because of mental blocks that are fictionally inside your mind, and you start to pre-calculate your failure, and then before you know it, you have an excuse of not to start now. Time and time again, I always tell people, you know, it's really, really important to just do it. So, for example, when you think about summer sales, yeah, or sales in general. You walk past the shop. It's winter time. You see a wicked jacket that you like. You're like, wow, that jacket looks sick. And then you see a one-time offer for, let's just say it's £120, and then you see an offer for £55, and you're like, whoa, £55, what? And I've got till Monday. Wow, like, you start calculating what to do, how to get that money, how to make this happen, how can it work. I mean, obviously in dire circumstances, if you really can't afford it, you just leave it. But I'm sure there's so many of you right now that are listening that even if you can't afford it, you will find a way. You will phone your brother or your cousin or that guy in college that owes you money for like 7 years. Hey, where's my £50, bro? Hey, I need to get this jacket. All right, cool. Say nothing. Put it in my account.
Yep.
You know, so if you can think and act so quickly on that for a jacket that you like, and obviously, you know, people like fashion, people like buying clothes. So really and truly, it's for the fact that, you know, it's cold. You can do that for your brand. I mean, this is something that's going to make you money later on. It's something you love doing as well. So why not invest that same energy into that as well? Do you see where I'm coming from? So sometimes you just have to act. You see that one-time offer. It could be that webinar that changed you. It could be that networking event that's actually inspired you. It could be that one friend that's actually done his business and he was actually at a lower level than you were before. Now he's gone past you and you're like, you know what? I could be there with him winning. I want to win. You know, our generation is heading into like a new order that I personally believe is going to be run by entrepreneurs. So the whole entire world right now is being amazed by Bitcoin, you know, leading into digital currency. You're now seeing Amazon and Netflix as well, which should be a very, very good lesson for all you guys who want to know about how the future holds. Amazon, learn from Amazon and Netflix, seriously. Netflix, personally, I believe, will take over Hollywood. Will take over the movie production, will take over television, and will take over network TV series. Amazon, I mean, what haven't they not taken over? You know, games, shopping in general, toys. For those you don't know, Toys R Us is actually gone into administration at the moment. So yeah, that's a big thing. Toys R Us, man. I mean, sometimes if you don't evolve, you're gonna get left behind, man. It's like Pokemon, unless you're Pikachu. But anyway, when it comes to business, when it comes to entrepreneurship, just look to the future and see where you want to put yourself at. You're working, you may not be working, but at the same time, we've all got the same 24 hours in the same day. What are you doing with yours? You don't like what you're doing anyway, even if you're getting paid well. Let's keep it real. Jobs ain't working no more. I mean, don't get it wrong. Besides paying your bills, if you speak to your parents, majority of the time you will say to them, "Oh, why did you like working at, the bank, mom? Or why do you like working at the construction site, the office?" "Oh, I love my job. I love Sue on the desk. I love so and so that works in the counter. I love so and so that works in the cafeteria. We're all a good family." You ask somebody now why they do their job. "Boy, I'm just trying to pay my bills, bro. That's it. Trying to get by. Just trying to hustle. Trying to survive." We don't care no more. Literally, we've lost passion. And whether it's the job sector that's failed us, or the government, or society, what are you gonna do about it? That's what it's gonna boil down to. For those of you who've got kids, when they get to 15 years old and they're repeating the same mistakes you made, what are you gonna tell them? "Oh, I had a chance, but I couldn't be asked to do it. Oh, to be honest, I didn't really feel the way things were going on. It was long, it was hard." They don't care about these excuses, because they're going to be repeating the same mistakes you're going through, and you're going to see it, and that's when you're going to realize the regret that comes in your eyes. So think about it long and hard. I mean, you're working hard for someone else anyway. Let's go into it. Let's do it. Seriously. Now we're going to go into how much. Now, it depends on what you want. Look for quality in designers' work, and somebody that has passion besides a good skill in the area of design. So for example, don't just pick anybody that does, like, if you go to, I don't know, when you're going to look for something to eat, you don't just, "Oh, that shop, I like chicken, that restaurant sells chicken, let's just go there." You don't walk in there, do you? No, you don't. You look at it and think, "Hold on, what do you mean sell chicken? I can't just go into any restaurant that sells chicken. I want to look at a restaurant that actually has good quality chicken. I want to look at their menu, I want to look at their staff. Is it branded well?" Branding is very, very important. When you go Nando's, for those Nando's lovers in the UK, when you go Nando's, literally what draws you into Nando's? It sells similar chicken to KFC, similar chicken to Harvester, same chicken to what other chicken restaurants do you have? Literally.
Dixie, Sam's,
chicken cottage. But why do you go Nando's? What makes Nando's chicken? I mean, I know that peri-peri sauce is tasty. I'm a vegan, by the way, just to let you guys know, so I'm talking about my past 10-year experiences with chicken. But anyway, what draws you into those shops? So you have to look for a designer that has not only got quality, but it's got passion in their work. Like us. No pun intended. You have to respect the designer's work as well, and know what you're paying for. Look at designer's work, assess the quality. Right. "Hi Solomon, you want to get your logo and your brand ignited? Cool, you've come to Newmotive World of Creativity. We're charging you £150 just for your logo. Starting." "Oh, okay, wow, like that's a lot." Well,
"Whoa, why?
I
can't afford that."
That's what they always say. But it comes with, you've got your brand values. We assess your target audience. We assess your colors, your entire why now, why your whole why factor and why you do your business. And we also got cool packages that are tailored to you to help you get your brand ignited. So you may just come for your logo, but you may need your business card. You may need your banners done. You may be having some networking events and workshops. We can get you started right from the bottom to the top. By the time you leave us, you'll be ready to go out into the real world and start promoting and expanding your business. So yeah, no pun intended again, just have to put that in there. Yeah. And like I said before, when making an investment, just remember the amount of money you waste on things that are not necessary. So for example, I had a client that was like, yeah, I'm interested, I want to do this, I want to do that, I've got a website, I need to redo my website, I need you to redo my logo, I need to redo my banners, and I need to get all this done. And cool, bro, alright, well, this is how much it's going to start. How much? Oh, it's going to start from, 1,500 basic wage, basic package, but we can up it to, yeah, that's a bit too much. Well, it's a bit kind of peak, and I don't really know, and you know, my cat needs surgery right now, and you know, my next door neighbour's dog is gone missing and I need to help her find that, and that's going to cost money. All this crap and excuses they give you. Cool. But I know when I was going shopping for my son to buy him some baby grows, and I saw the same guy that I was talking to outside the game shop waiting for Call of Duty. Which one was it that dropped recently? Queuing up to
keep up.
Yeah.
Black Ops, I don't know.
Whatever it was.
Don't laugh at me, I know Black Ops is old, but...
And I saw him and I was like, what's going on, bro? He's like, yeah, what's going on? Yeah, I'm just queuing up, man. I'm gonna get this Call of Duty. I was like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy the whole package, the Xbox One, One S, I think it was, and he was gonna get. I was like, bro, that's a lot of money. He's like, yeah, you know, I gotta do it, man. I gotta do it. You know, the kids as well. And so in my head, I was thinking, but you're complaining about investing even just a minimum of £150 with us. Although I've offered you 1,500 for our package that includes everything. Weigh out your options. You see where I'm coming from? An Xbox S1 or Xbox One S, or whatever you call it, versus your actual brand, your business that you love doing. That's going to take you out of your tired 9 to 5, yeah, and put you in a system of happiness with you, your family, your whole entire unit. Think about it. Investment.
No pun intended.
No pun intended, yeah. Secretly. But yeah, so like I said, guys, drop your comments below. Any help, any questions needed, we're here to answer them. Really think about the investment process right now in 2018 and make a move. Actions always speak louder than words. Right, so now Solomon's going to direct you through the leap of faith. And yeah, Solomon.
Okay, sweet. Now, as you guys already know, my name's Solomon, and yeah, I want to direct you through and how to take the leap of faith, aka take chances, make that move. Let's go. Now, I like this image, not because I like pyramids and the whole history of Egypt and whatnot. This image right here represents the pinnacle, and we all get like that in our life, some point, somewhere, somehow. And you need to come to that stage and ask yourself, okay, what am I willing to do at these crossroads, and how am I going to take that step further? So what I want to discuss with you is just the definition of that leap of faith, and it's just basically a belief or an attempting something whose existence or outcome cannot be proved or known. So again, it's kind of like just waiting at this dark lake. You're just in the middle of darkness. Darkness is a good thing, by the way. Don't ever say it's a bad thing, but it's just, it exercises your mind in how to start seeing from how the Egyptians would call it, your third eye. Yeah, and for you to exercise your third eye, you need to learn how to dive into things you have no idea about and adapt. Adaptation is the greatest tool that has been given to man and woman. Yeah, so very imperative about understanding the definition of the leap of faith. You have already done the jump, you know, you've really taken that first step, and yes, things will get harder. There's going to be challenges ahead. So you need to understand that in order for you to be ready for what's to come ahead. It's not about fear or complaining. It's all about getting it done. And you definitely need to use it to your ability. It's power that you know you're not used to. So again, you don't want to refuse to not decode yourself. When we're going through changes, we need to know how to reprogram ourselves. Like, we've been in the system for so long and being actually brainwashed into doing something that us humans are not designed to do in the first place.
Yeah, definitely.
So, for example, my fitness, I'm very big on that. And I was obese, in case a lot of people didn't know. There's very few close ones that knew about that. And it consisted of me just eating so many times, big amounts. And it took years, it took time, but it's all about decoding yourself, reprogramming yourself. So my ideology of looking at foods in a certain way, like, you know, the dairy, the sugar stuff, the high salts, big massive portions. And again, you have to look at what your body is capable of doing. So again, maybe you need to cut down your portions, or maybe you need to start looking at what you're eating exactly, how much sugars and salts you're taking in. All of that comes into research as well, but it has to come from within you. You have to make that choice. You have to make that decision. You need to stand up and be like, you know what? I'm going to stand on top of that pyramid. I'm going to jump off it. Even if I have to hit a couple blocks down it, I will recover from it. I will heal. Do you see what I'm talking about? Like, if you do get where we're coming from, just drop in the comment box. I mean, I can share with you personal stuff that I've been through, but obesity is just one of the main things that affected my life. And that was the start of a leap of faith for me, and I'm still going strong. I'm pescatarian, by the way. I don't want to put any titles on it, but I haven't had no meat for 7 months, so just putting it out there. Okay, so I just wanted to just go into more depth about myself and why I do Newmotive. When we first started, this was back at university. That's how I met Jesse. We started Newmotive, Word of Creativity. He had a vision and we went with it. And one of my main purposes in wanting to do Newmotive, it was already established, simply because I love doing what I do. Creating the wow factor in my artwork. Whether it was animation, graphic design, fine art, illustration, you name it. I've always been a versatile type of artist. So for me to go through that transition into Newmotive and doing designs and feeling very proud of it myself, because again, the clients feel proud of the work that I've done too. So that drives me a lot, you know. Obviously I do get strict clients all the time, so they say, yeah, I don't want it like it this way, but delivering that satisfaction has always been paramount to me. So that's what drives me. That's my number one reason. Several other reasons. It's all in the same level anyway. I like to create a brotherhood. Sisterhood too, by the way. You know, try that. You get me? But when I say that, I want to create a network of artists everywhere, globally, because again, we like to try to get them out of their shell. So I know a lot of animators that we used to work with at university, and we still know them till now. They're very quite introverted beings.
Very, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we like to shine that light on everybody to be like, look, any type of creative that you do, you even got to be as an established artist, you could be in any sort of field. Like, again, I'm seeing doctors on YouTube, like, making videos about their work, you know, and adding some little humour to it too. So, if doctors can do that, that's professionals, that's beyond creativity, but they still establish it in their own way in videos. Why can't our artists do that? You see what I mean? There's so many secretive, you know, designers, painters, logo designers, you name it, everywhere. So we want to create that network where, you know what, we're going to be able to come out our show more, and we shouldn't be afraid to speak to our clients the same language that we speak to each other in. You see what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're going to learn how we do things anyway. So I love to create that environment. It just gives that more motivation for me and them too. So that's more for me. Jesse's one, very similar, slightly different. When Newmotive first started, Jesse's always had a vision. He's always had a big vision into creating a group that are full of creatives, and he wants to build a foundation. That way, it's very similar to what I said about building that networking community, but with him, it doesn't only end from there. It's all about expansion, and we talk about these ideas all the time, and even if it goes from there, you can go into cinemas. Like, it's all about thinking outside the box here with Jesse when it comes to him. This is his big why. He looks 10,000 years from now. Maybe I'm just elaborating too much, but he sees a big enough vision for our children and grandchildren to see.
Have to, man. Have to.
Creating cinemas that, you know, that can even allow our children on stage to actually create a movie using paintbrushes. May not even need cameras. Newmotive cinemas. It could be buildings, studios, fun fairs. Oh yeah. Jesse don't play around with his vision, you know. I'm telling you. So, in regards to that, it's helping to illuminate people's visions too, because again, we can't do it on our own. This is why we're very big on helping others and just creating Again, that strong foundation with each other, because again, we believe in igniting everyone's skills within themselves to flourish into what they love doing. So this is to also explore new creative ways in animation and filming, because again, that's what we studied at university. That's how me and him connected. And animation's going to keep changing, and it's all about creativity, no matter how technical it gets. And we love it. We love doing it. You know, that's just his big why.
Trust. Yeah, man. Just to you know, bounce off that, and the reason why, you know, it's important. So I didn't make him. He decided to explain the reasons why I do Newmotive, was because, you see, when you're doing this together with a friend, or you know, we're past that, we're brothers now. It's important for him to understand why I'm doing it, and it's important for me to understand why he's doing it, because, like you've just seen, he's explained what my visions were, what my passion is, what my goals are. You know, I'm a very, very, I couldn't even tell you, I think 1,000 years ahead. You know, to think about it, just to do this for myself, personally, only just to do it. I'm not trying to say overall. I think just to do it for myself is very selfish. When I've got a son myself, I've got nephews and nieces. I've got also the young kids that look to me in general, and some of them haven't even reached the age of 10 yet. And to do it for myself and not even think about them and their kids, I think about their grandkids. That's how deep it is, because creativity is everlasting. You know, we showed you earlier a picture of the pyramids. By the way, that image is obviously from Assassin's Creed, the new game, Origins, and it's a very, very interesting game. For all you gamers out there, go and buy that game if you really have that mindset of exploring. But when they built the pyramids, that wasn't just built in a day or 2 days or 3 days. If you look at history, you know, I think it was from King Khufu. I think that was 5th dynasty or 4th dynasty. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. King Khufu started obviously building the pyramids, and then they didn't get finished up until, like, I will remember the 18th dynasty or the 16th dynasty, they were still being built. So you do the maths. I mean, how long does a dynasty last? Literally like hundreds of years. So sometimes it's not about the now factor. You know, sometimes the investment goes further than 2 days, 4 years, 10, 20 years, 100 years. Do you see where I'm coming from? Creativity is everlasting, you know, and we have that all inside. We have that creative spark inside all of us, you know. So I love what I'm doing. Literally, man, it's crazy. So I can't explain it to you guys any more better than what we've done now. We will have more webinars as well and more videos. We'll be talking to you guys like this directly from the camera itself. We'll have our slides up, but we also want to talk directly to you guys. You want to see us, see our beautiful faces, you know, our beautiful beard. Nice and oiled and greased today.
My beard's better, you get me?
But yeah, thank you so again once for, you know, just showing these guys a leap of faith, you know, and how to really get your start, your reasons in and why you're doing your business. So think about why we do Newmotive, and think about why you do what you're doing, you know. So what I like to do, end my webinars on quotes, and this one is from Michelle, I think it's Collard. She does photography, and basically I love this quote. Sometimes you will never know the true value of a moment until it becomes a memory. So you think about that. This is a moment right now. You don't act, you don't invest, you don't look at how much, you don't ignite your brand, you don't illuminate your vision, you go to sleep, and then you wake up, someone else did it. Now the memory is of when you could have done it and when you should have won, and now he's winning, or so-and-so's winning, and you're like, wow. You know, when you speak to older people, like when you go to an old people's home and you see regret in the old man's eyes, and you speak to him, say, you know, like, you just have a normal conversation with him, and you tell him, he goes, oh, you know, what's your relationship like with your dad? Oh, I don't talk to my dad. Why not? Oh, because this and that. Blah. And he's like, what? It's like, I'm 95 years old, bro. You ain't got time for that. Seriously, man. Swallow your pride and talk to him. Wherever it is, squash it, because it's not worth it. They start talking about what they should have done, and that's when you realise how peak it is in life.
Exactly, and that as well. Gary Vaynerchuk speaks about that a lot. Just go to your old people's home. For us, speak to the people that are just about to go to the old people's home. God forbid, but like some of them, before they even got there, I'm sure they've reached a pinnacle stage in their life where, you know what, I can't take this anymore. Like, they're just at that breaking point. That's the time you can go speak to them. That's where we're at. You know, that are near enough looking to retire from their job, or again, they're just looking to settle down and just get out of the country. And you know, we speak to them and they'll tell you everything, because it's still fresh in their mind. Because thing is, when you go to the old people's home, some of them do forget. They may not even want to talk about it. It's just, do you know what I mean? I want to attack it before that. Big respect to Gary Vaynerchuk, by the way.
So, I got one more quote as well, which is from a guy called JC Penny, and it's really funny. So, it's, give me a stock clerk with a goal, and I'll give you a man who will make history. Give me a man without a goal, and I'll give you a stock clerk.
Mad.
Illuminate your vision, guys. Ignite your brands and expand your business. It's really important. Any questions, any queries, drop them in the comment section below. Follow us on all social medias at newmotivewoc.com. Sorry, follow us at newmotivewoc. Our website is newmotivewoc.com. Thank you very much for watching this webinar, The Why Now Factor. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Keep following. Stay creative, guys. Rise in design.
Rise in design.